Hi, this is Victor Antonio with another Sales Influence Moment. One of the questions I get a lot is, Victor, if I have to prepare for a presentation and I have 15 minutes to convince the customer, how would you structure that presentation? What would you do to make that the most effective 15 minutes you've ever presented? Well, the first thing I usually say is know what you want out of the meeting. In other words, what the outcome is. So always going in, you want an outcome. What is the outcome of that meeting? What do I want? Do I want another meeting? Do I want another meeting with the decision maker? Do I want them to use the product? Do I want them to buy into my service, maybe do a trial? Have that in your mind because that will determine how your presentation is actually built. So once you know what the outcome is, then the second step really is to structure what you want to say in that presentation. Now, one of the common mistakes we make is that we overload the customer, the client, with so much information that they walk out of there confused. And as we know, a confused mind will never make a decision, which means that they'll probably forget most of what you're saying. So to go in there and do a presentation, you have 15 minutes. What I suggest is to reduce what you have to say to 3 key points or 3 main objectives. So if you go in there understanding, I want to get these 3 points across with the outcome being X, this is how you would structure your presentation. Here's how I do it. I'm just sharing with you. See if you agree. So one of the things I do is I say, what are the 3 points? And then I would write in here the 3 things that I want to say or points that I want to drive in the customer's brain, things I really want to get across. This is what I would fill in here. Then once I take each point that I want to drive home, and then I apply this 4-step structure. I want to tell a story because people remember stories. Once I tell my story about that feature or that benefit, I then make a point, which is really emphasize what I'm trying to sell here, that feature, that point. Then I do a demo, which is a demonstration of what I just tried to prove. Because people like to see proof, tangible proof, social proof of what you've just stated. Once you've shown them what you've proven, what you want to do is then use a tie-down statement. So based on what I've shown you, Mr. Customer, can you now see why this would be beneficial to your company? And hopefully you'll get a wonderful yes. So once they understand the first point, you then kind of bridge over to the second point, and you do the same thing. Well, let me tell you another story, Mr. Customer. And you tell another story. Once you tell a story, you drive home the point one more time. And they said, well, let me go ahead and demo the 3rd step and show you. Then show the customer, and then again ask in a subtle way, can you now see why this would be useful to your company? You've just tied down the second point you want to make. Then you bridge over to the 3rd one, do the same thing. Story, point, you do a demo, and then you do a tie-down statement to get a confirmation. And if you do this correctly, hopefully by the time you're done with your 15 minutes, you can then ask for whatever that follow-up objective is that you've already predetermined. So in other words, if it's to get a trial, a demo, whatever it may be, you're now in a better position to do so if you use this type of method of presenting. I hope this helps. And again, you can use this in a bigger presentation, a 45-minute presentation, but I always warn people, do not overload the customer with too much information. They'll just shut down. This is Victor Antonio with another Sales Influence Moment reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care.